What is up, everybody? It's Thursday night, so you know what that means. And it's a special Halloween edition of In the Pit for the first time in our over 2 years of existence. We're giving it a shot. So hopefully, y'all can hear me through this thing and we'll figure it out. Normally, this is what I bring in numero dos, but he's preoccupied. So we have the rest of the usual suspects. So let's bring everyone in.
Hello, everybody. I thought I'd wear a jacket fitting for
What's happening, y'all?
Exactly. Famous. And our poodle bro and some kind of, I think that's Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a creeper. It's a creeper. Since my son's gonna be Steve, so I'm gonna be creepy as fuck. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Nice. So how are y'all doing?
Oh, it's good. Oh my God, the world of wrestling right now. Can I just say, wow?
Oh man. Yeah, you
So
missed
much
out
stuff-
on the
So much stuff going on.
yeah. You missed out on the rants last week.
It's like some great highs and then some terrible lows, man.
Seriously, where to start, Josh? Where to start for tonight?
I know. Well, first I want to welcome. We're streaming actually to my actual personal Facebook page for the first time ever. So there's gonna be a lot of possibly new eyes. So I might have less friends by the end of this show. But hey, it's worth a shot. You know what I mean? So let's give it a go. So my family gonna be like, "What is he doing?"
Yeah, this is a great episode for your family to tune in.
Right.
That's what I thought. I was like, why not start in a costume? Because they'll probably think this is what we do all the time, right?
I know.
Right there.
Just a bunch of weirdo wrestling fans getting together.
Yeah, it was weird for work. It's like, do you have anything to dress up for on Friday? I'm like, I'm a wrestling fan, so yes. It's like,
Yeah.
like I can dress up at so many things. Too easy. But I guess we'll kind of start how we started last week with letting me. I'm kind of got
Josh's hot minute.
yeah. I don't want this to turn into a weekly thing. I don't think my heart can take it. And hopefully shit will get better before it gets worse. But my rant on promoters last week, I'm kind of gonna piggyback because there's even some more shit that I left out that kind of pisses me off that I kind of found out about that's been happening recently and probably been happening for years. Like I said, I mean everybody knows I'm new to the promoter gig. But if you're gonna run a show, how do you not know how you're gonna pay your talent that you're booking before the show starts?
Wow.
Like, that's insanity to me.
Yep.
I mean, I've always heard the whole like, oh, well, oh, sorry, your envelope was short because we didn't have a good door. I knew that kind of happened, but to not get paid, I mean, that's horrible. But then I even get paid on the day of the event.
That's right.
I'll get you, I'll get you as soon as I can. Like, that makes no fucking sense to me. Don't book shows if you can't pay the talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't blame it because you didn't have a good door. Don't blame it because sponsors this or that. If your envelopes ain't filled before doors, you shouldn't have a fucking show.
Yeah, I agree.
True.
I mean, it just makes no sense to me.
And don't be telling me you spent your money on all this other extra crap. No, your money should be going towards the talent that helps you build your show.
What is a
They're
show?
putting their yeah, exactly.
There is no show.
There is no show. Your money should be going towards the talent, not extra BS that you think it's fancy and that you need. No, the money should be going towards the show.
Like, oh, we got cool lights or smoke now, or we got whatever. Who gives a shit?
Who cares?
You know what I mean? The talent needs to be paid, period.
Exactly.
And then this whole thing, too, if you agree to a rate when you need to book these talents, and then you put half of that in the envelope, that's almost as bad.
Yeah.
And he's, oh, well, sorry, because this and that. It's like, no, you made a deal. You made an agreement. This talent traveled from who knows how far.
Exactly.
Sacrificed their Saturday or Friday where they could maybe have gone somewhere else and made a full pay. Because they made a commitment to your show.
I'll be Rogue.
And then they go home because, I mean, no one ever really opens the envelopes. Right when you hand them to them, they put them in their pocket and they go home.
Yeah.
Then they get home and they're like, what?
Yeah, like, and the worst part of it is because Texas is huge, so I know a lot of these wrestlers. They live in fucking far out fucking cities, a good 5, 6 hour, 8 hour drives one way, and they just to come back and then like this is what I have to show for. I mean, Come on now, that's super unprofessional.
I mean, they're trying to be like Smokey's mom on Friday, like make it enough. Like, what? That don't work.
No.
Enough. Make it enough. That's that bullshit, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Don't pull that don't pull that business on the wrestlers. Don't do that. And let me say this: if you can't afford to pay them, what's going to happen if they get injured in your ring?
Oh,
exactly.
If you can't afford to pay them and then they get injured, what a slap in the face. Come on. You can't pay them the 50 to 150 to $200, whatever their rate is.
That you need,
but you want them to put their bodies on the line for you.
And it's not a secret rate. That's the thing. Like when you're booking, you should know the rate.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some promoters, they don't do that. They pay what they pay. And talent, if they say yes to the booking without agreeing to a rate, that's partially on the talent.
Yep. I agree.
So talent that's listening out there, don't book a show without knowing what you're going to get paid.
Exactly.
And if you do that, then I am kind of sorry for you then. If you find out, it's like, man, you know, like I only got 40. I usually get 80. What did you say? Nothing. Like if there's one person that's been on my show, I've had 3, who would not tell me a rate. And then I told him, I said, well, what would have happened if I put a dollar bill in there? And whenever you left, you know what I mean? I don't care that you drove 10 hours to get here. Car broke down on the way. And what if I was like, well, but $20 left. I know that that's the decision I made. And next time we're going to have a different conversation when you want to book me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's on the talent.
It is.
I didn't do that, and I didn't give him $1. I gave him much more than that. And he was very happy for the record.
I mean, just don't tell me whatever. Give me give a rate. Be professional. And you know what? If you've been burned by a booker, this is for wrestlers who are listening. If you've been burned by a booker, start taking half up front from that booker if they want to get you again. It's like, okay, I'll work for you again. Take half. Get half up front. If they can't give you half up front, then you know what? Say, thank you. We've had a nice run, but I'm going to have to pass.
Yeah. And you know, some shows they won't do that, and some shows they will.
Yeah.
But then it's also, I don't know if it's really like makes it clear, like, oh, they really want you then if they're going to do a deposit. You know, but it also happens too, because like what's happened with PPW more than not is shows get canceled. And then, you know, if things happen and then they lost out on other bookings, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it happens. And like I say, that's happened to me. And it was kind of crappy for them. And I'm just like, you know, well, next time we'll have a deposit. It's like, okay. Next time we'll have a deposit. Yeah. That's cool. Because you do those. That's the thing is like when you're booking shows, like you're going to put your life on the line. Like it's not too much to say, hey, well, my rate is this. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're putting your life on the line.
Look your worth.
Literally, not livelihood, life.
Yeah.
One bad thing and you're done. You know? So it's not too much to ask a promoter when you're making an agreement to be part of a show that tickets are being sold for. So money is being changed hands all around. It's not too much for a talent to say, hey, my rate is this.
Yeah.
You know,
and be honest with you, and be honest with yourself, and bookers and promoters should be honest with yourself. Is running a promotion pretty awesome? Yeah. Is it a lot of work? Hells yeah. Mm-hmm. Does it take money? F yeah. Be honest with yourself.
Oh yeah.
Don't do it for clout. Don't do it for whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Do it if you can, but there's no shame in saying, okay, I tried. It's not working out. I got to step back and take a break. There's no shame in it. I would rather you do that than continue going along. And then all you do is ruin your name by not paying people. Because all you're going to do is burn yourself, and you're going to burn bridges, and no one's going to trust you, no matter how good of a person you think you are or you are. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's just crazy to me. And it's just
it is.
I'm much calmer than I was last week, because last week's rant was much more heated, but it's just like, come on.
It's the mask. It's the mask. You know, you're acting like Kane. Remember, Kane was
for me, I guess.
Yeah, like, Kane was calm and collected. Remember?
Yeah, very calm. That's why I was like, you know, I'm just gonna be here like that, and then I'm gonna choke him, motherfucker. That's what's gonna happen. There's no ranting or yelling or any of that crap, I guess, with him. So maybe I need to wear this more often.
Someone's just straight up getting choke slammed.
Yeah, it's just gonna be all right, or lit on fire, like whatever, you know, could happen.
I love it.
Yeah, so I think that's it for that. Yeah, so things happened this week and happened even what was it yesterday? I guess yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday everything broke.
We touch on Ring of Honor here occasionally. We try to as much as we can, and I blame Angel because he said they weren't a top promotion.
Damn it, Angel. Damn it, Angel.
Listen. I wasn't gonna say anything about that, because I truly do feel bad about it. I truly do feel bad about it because I feel like I jinxed it. But
You did. You gave it a hole.
yes, so I guess.
We are.
So I guess the news is that it just came out that Sinclair it just went ahead and released everyone from their contracts. They're gonna still run shows all the way up to December, which is Final Battle, and after that they're gonna take the first quarter off and then come back rebranded in April of 2022. What's important to note is that they haven't canceled the show, so what they're gonna do some certain tapings and then they're gonna run that, and after that, then it's gonna do kind of what they did during the COVID, where they're just gonna run some like collections of stuff like that. And supposedly, what the way. Stop it. No, so supposedly, what they're gonna do now is that instead of having like full contracted personnel, it looks like they may just have kind of like some of the companies do, where it's like a per appearance type of contract, which I don't know how that's gonna fly. And then at the same time, it's come out that actually Sinclair has actually been trying to actually sell the Ring of Honor video collection, but supposedly what they're asking price is a little too much for people right now. So
wow.
Yeah, so that's all that we really know right now. There are some rumors of AEW signing some people. I saw some conflicting stuff that might be true, might not be true. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's very unfortunate because I feel like this is a it's kind of like Vince, Vince killed Vince, kind of thing. It's Ring of Honor did this to themselves.
Yeah.
Now people are going to blame AEW, and that's fully understandable. It's fully understandable, but there's stuff that led to it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because let's say if they fully invested in keeping some of the AEW guys, that's fine. They decide not to. They went and formed their own thing. They even allowed them to run their own show using their own equipment, which on hindsight, that was a terrible idea. But hey, they did it of good. They did it of very good faith, right? Yeah. But then after AEW left, the AEW guys formed and left and all that, they still had Marty Scurll, and he was actually doing a pretty good job keeping the company up because he became the booker. Yeah. But then he got caught. Was it the Me Too? Was it the Me? Is it called the Me Too?
No, it was the no, not the Me Too movement. He was canceled by that. Oh crap. Yeah, so yeah, it was that yeah, basically the whole summer everything broke.
Yeah, the whole
Speak Out movement. The Speak Out
movement. Thank you. Speak Out. So I didn't want to get it wrong. Yeah, where essentially it appeared he had a relationship or hooked up with a 16-year-old girl, which in the UK is okay, but come on now, really. But so unfortunately that happened, right? And then they ran the split show with New Japan in Madison Square Garden, and that was what really soured the relationship between them and New Japan.
Yep.
So then that was kind of like it just kept going down and down and down. Yep. And then unfortunately the pandemic, stuff like that happened. And I just want to give a shout before we go into more of this. They actually did right by the wrestlers and kept everyone signed during the pandemic. So that's a shout out to them. So I think all this gets lost between that.
No,
right?
I think that. No, I think that was great. I think they did right by the wrestlers, but unfortunately, what I think like you were saying, some of the stuff they did wrong is they messed up some of the relationships with companies in Mexico, with the company, with companies in Japan. They messed up those relationships, and then they they kept pushing people who were controversial in a bad way online and with fans. One of them being Scurll, the other one being the other part that was part of the Elite, which is
Flip Gordon?
Flip Gordon. Like he was going online and he was just saying stupid ass stuff during the pandemic,
flat earther stuff.
And it's like, dude, at what point do you have to sit down and be like, can you just shut the fuck up for 2 seconds, please? Like our company is trying to make its way back, and your stuff is not helping.
Not whatsoever.
It's not helping at all. And I think that having him be pushed out there was not great because people were so upset and just over him at that point.
It's too polarizing. You can't be that far.
Exactly. And it's like, man, like Are you a wrestler or do you want to be a political science major? Like, can you pick one, please?
Thank
Like,
you.
what are you
Yes.
promoting?
Yeah.
Why are you
So much.
promoting flat Earth instead of your match coming up? Can we talk about that?
Yes, for real. And then unfortunately, and then they tried some stuff with Rouge, which in my opinion, he he never really did much to get people back into it. I don't want to say it's a language barrier because we've seen many people in
Oh,
Yeah.
many Smash wrestlers and like look at Pentagon Jr.
Yeah.
has a language barrier but on top. Just something with Rouge just didn't click. And then with Bandito, I love Bandito, but still the same
Yeah.
situation.
Same.
And the worst part of it all, and the reason why I was saying the thing of that there's no like passion for Ring of Honor. There's not much stuff out there for Ring of Honor. It's not so much the fans because we try to talk. Like I said, like I was kind of like being hyperbolic, saying like, no one talks about Ring of Honor. Sinclair didn't talk about Ring of Honor. They did nothing to
That's
promote
true.
that they had Ring
That
of
is true.
Honor.
That is
Dude,
true.
like seriously, like if I was Sinclair, I understand it was very cheap programming for them, but I never knew when Ring of Honor was on. It was on the most random times. I don't know what channel it was. I don't know when events were happening. It was it's like it was like they just let it run by itself, and it just did not click, and no one talked about it. We didn't know about it to a
It used to
point.
come
This
on
is
like
why this is why they had to cancel some shows because they weren't just selling houses, and that's
Yeah.
how we got to this point, unfortunately. So I, I feel bad for the Ring of Honor guys. I know everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, AEW's gonna sign some people and all that, and it's too many people and all that." I think it's a situation where I like yes, they signed too many people, but I'm rooting for them to get signed because I've been in situations in my career field where you thought you were good, you had a full contract, you're doing good, and out of nowhere, boom, you get cut, and then look, how
Yeah.
you can support your family, you know?
Yep.
So it's very unfortunate that's happened, but I hope that whatever iteration comes with Ring of Honor, it comes back stronger, better than
Mhm.
ever, and it have another place for workers to work because
Yeah.
not Ring of Honor it got to this point, but it still was a place for people to make money, and
Yep.
now
Yeah.
that's that's a major source that is taken out of the equation. So
Yeah, and I just hope when they do come back that they remember the ones that were there through this whole time that even just kept them whatever level of relevancy they had.
Yeah.
Shane
I
Taylor,
agree.
Shane Taylor Promotions.
Yeah, Shane Taylor Promotions, the 6-man
Like,
tag. Those guys were everywhere. They were trying to defend it everywhere. They took the belts everywhere.
Nobody
Yes.
I mean,
back higher than
those
Shane Taylor. Yeah.
yeah, those guys are great. I mean, I think there was a list that came out of who Ring of Honor was already in talks with AEW because the writing was already on the wall, and Ring of Honor approached them. But it's the usual suspects, which is great. But what about some of the other people? And of course, and I mentioned this to Angel and you guys before, is the fact that it's all men.
Yep.
It's all men.
20 names.
Like
20
everybody.
names.
Yeah. What's that?
20 names. All men.
All men. All men. And I'm
Women,
sorry, but I
really.
feel like the AEW women's division could use a little bit of a refresh.
Yes.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the talent there. The talent there they have there is great, but 20 men, 0 women. And then in the past couple of months for AEW, in the past like couple of months, it's been 1 woman and like 10 men signed. It's like, why?
Yep.
You don't need any more tag teams. I'm sorry to the tag teams out there. I know you want a job. You know you want a contract. But why do you want to be signed when you're not going to get any TV time? And then it's going to turn into the WWE situation where you're there, keeping catering warm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just
catering crew. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know the catering crew more than you know the audience. It's like, come on, man.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that the women could use more refresh. They could use fresher storylines. They could use more and better opponents. As much as I love some of the women on the AEW roster, whether they're physique or whatever, let's face it, some of them are new. Jade Cargill, great physique, great look, but she's still green.
Yes.
There are some women on there like Penelope Ford and the Bunny who could use better opponents to increase their talents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like facing the same 3 women over and over again is not helping.
Not gonna get
they put some new women on contract, and some of them they've been wrestling 6 months, and you're like, but why?
Yeah. When
you've got experienced female wrestlers out there that can go and elevate your division, That's my rant.
And Ring of Honor's last kind of thing they did major was the Women of Honor tournament. So those are a bunch of names that are on the tip of people's tongues.
Exactly.
That they could put out there and have recognition right away. I mean, biased because of the ones that we know and love here in Texas, but I mean, there's plenty of names that were in that tournament.
Yeah. There were plenty of names that are in that tournament. I mean,
recognition.
Yeah, it's like
it's
you want somebody.
You just said. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's just like
they're better than those ones that are there.
And I'll maybe I'm a little biased because Holodead is the Mission Pro Wrestling champion right now, but like she's been, she did one appearance on AEW. She did an appearance on the Ring of Honor women's tournament. She's on MLW. It's like, she mentioned earlier this week, you don't have to be signed to be over, but damn it, why is she not signed? She could elevate your women's division. She could help train your women's division. She knows how to go over, and she knows how to be a powerhouse. Yeah. And she's got a presence in a ring that
her charisma is.
Yeah, she can she can help your division. She can elevate your division.
And honestly, having a presence, and especially as a woman, that's massive. That's half the battle. Because unfortunately, so I know they always say like joke is AEW fans they'll cheer for everything that's in the ring, but I've been there live when two women start wrestling, it gets quiet.
Yeah,
especially if it's not like your top tier ones. If it's just like kind of like your mid, everyone's just like, oh, okay, here we go, let's just sit on our hands.
Yeah, pretty much. You're absolutely right. It can get quiet because you know that they're gonna throw out the same 5 moves, and you're like, okay, well she's gonna go to this to this. Cool. All right, match is done. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The matches you see at school shows.
Yeah.
Not on network television. You know what I mean? And it's I don't know. It's not even. You can't blame the talent.
No.
Like, are you gonna say no? Like that's what people are like. Well, what are they doing? It's like I'm gonna give you this much money to go do that. I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. Like it's not the Bunny's not booking her own self into matches.
Exactly.
Anna Jay's not booking her own self into matches. Like it just sucks, man.
It really does. And I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent real quick, and we can come back. But even signed wrestlers train, guys. They continue to train. They're training before the shows. They're training during the shows, they're training between shows. They're training. So if you're a wrestler and you're not training, or you think you're above training because you did your 6 months wherever, or you did your 7 months wherever, or a year wherever, and you're not continuing to train, but you're still booking shows, you're gonna hurt somebody. Train.
And invest in yourself, invest the time.
Don't lie about your training.
And don't lie about your training. That's right. Don't lie about your training. Train. And second, don't skip leg day. That's what I'm saying, bro. Don't skip leg day. I can only take so many arm picks a day. Show the gams. Show the chicken legs. Come on.
Yeah, that's probably
shout out to the hybrid guys, always showing the legs. Good for you guys. Don't skip, because I see a couple of you guys skipping, and it shows. It's starting to show.
They try.
Bunch of big barrel-chested chicken leg mofos out there.
Oh no! Hey! At one of the gyms I go to, I see 2 of the guys, and that's I see here on a regular basis, and like strong body. I'm like, yeah, but I see him leg day. I'm like, I'm actually like squatting more than you. Like, oh, hey, it's like, hey, you know what? Don't skip leg. Yeah, skip leg day. Make me feel better. make me feel better about myself.
Don't skip leg day. End up falling over, looking like a bobblehead or something, man.
That used to be my favorite day.
Yay, it's Ryan.
That was usually the only day I could hold my own. Everything else I was weak as fuck. So yeah, invest in yourself. And I mean, just to point out, like I think it was the first Jericho cruise, the very first one. I went into that gym every day, 2 or 3 times a day, and I saw the one that I saw in there the most was Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
On a cruise, he was in the gym in the morning, in the night, and always working. Like, so if y'all think, you know what I mean? Like, and if you ever think that y'all don't need to do stuff, when you got a guy that's been #1 in PWI, whatever the fuck that's worth, but there's no debating that Kenny Omega is talented.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
I mean, he's one of my all-time favorites, but I mean, I'm not trying to be biased.
And I know, don't get me wrong. I know wrestlers have their favorite moves. I get it. You guys have favorite moves. You guys have signature moves. Of course you do. But if I can name your whole sequence from one show to the next, what your sequence is going to be, you need to throw a little bit of change in there, my friend.
Yeah.
If it does not change from opponent to opponent to opponent to show to show to show, then you are not training. There's no way you can be, because I've seen the same people wrestle like 5-6 times and it's always a new match, or at least it feels like it. You know what I'm saying? You guys too. You guys have seen the same people over and over again.
Absolutely.
Well, sure. Yeah.
And nobody wants to do that. You don't.
Yeah, you can start counting it like, here, there we go, there we go.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
it takes you out of your match. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And it's just frustrating, especially for people like us that, we watch so much and we pay attention to so much, and the true ones, you know what I mean? Like your family and friends are in the crowd and they don't know half the shit and they're like amazed, versus us that have go to every show everywhere.
You sit there with your arms crossed.
Every move, and it's like, bro.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, man, okay, good, cool.
Like, I know it's hard to be surprised these days for me to go to a match and be like, oh, wow, didn't see that coming, or but sometimes you see it coming, but you're excited about it at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, that's gonna be different. You see it coming, versus when you see it coming, and it's like, yep, and this is gonna come. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, I mean,
that's gonna do, and then we're done. All right, great.
Yeah,
that worked the first time. Like now.
Yeah, exactly.
You can bring that shit.
I mean that's my little tangent, but I mean going back to Ring of Honor, I feel bad for the guys. I wonder if if it's true that AEW is going to pick up some of them. I'm torn between their roster doesn't need to get padded more, and yes, I want those guys to keep working. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm torn on that.
They can only do so many indie bookings. You know what I mean? They want to get that solid.
Exactly, especially only on the weekends. It's like.
Yeah.
And it makes it tough, but
yeah. And I would say like, oh, maybe MLW, but even MLW just released 3 guys that they had at their most recent show, and so they just happened this week as well. So it's like, damn. So maybe MLW is looking at their budget as well and seeing,
it's the time of year. Like I mentioned that in the conversation.
That's true. October. Yeah,
it's the time of the year. But I mean, when it's the full whole roster, that's when it like really is like.
Dude, I haven't seen it. Like I remember NXT did that whole like swipe, but man, but for everyone, I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah, and I mean that was like different. They went to different brands and they went to different things. I mean, a lot of people got released. Some did, of course. But whenever it's like half-assed, whatever,
Yeah, well, you know what? I guess there's options out there. You have like New Japan and stuff like that. So hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I hope some of them get picked up for a lot of indie stuff and a lot of other things and stuff like that. But what I'm interested in is how they rebrand and what does a rebrand mean? Are they? I mean, I'm sure they're going to keep the Ring of Honor name, but what does a rebranding mean? I mean, like, are you going to come back Technicolor NXT style? Are you coming back
2.0?
Yeah, Ring of Honor 3.0 or something?
Yeah. No, technically this is like Ring of Honor 5.0 because they've been through so many rebrandings. If you follow their, like, this is great. It's never been this drastic, but.
Yeah, the word that stuck out to me was that they were going to do a pivot, like a pivot. Like, what the fuck is a pivot?
See,
I know it's 180, but like, okay.
So see, and then it's like, okay, what?
That was weird. Like, what?
What do you do differently? Like, I'm sorry, like
exactly. Then what changes?
I don't know, like, because Impact does their kind of thing, which still is kind of like a hybrid. MLW has like their lucha kind of northeastern stuff. AEW obviously does AEW. Now GCW's become a big player in the indie scene, probably the biggest indie promotion. So I don't know where Ring of Honor fits in all this. I truly don't.
Well, I mean, you would think they would be above GCW.
Yeah,
they should. Yeah, you would think that.
You would think. Well, I mean, I'm talking last week if we were having this conversation.
Right.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
When they have no roster anymore. It just makes it tough, man. But like I said, we can look at this, try to find silver linings, because that's kind of how I live my life. That's how I sleep at night. Just always try to find silver linings.
Yeah.
It's like maybe this is the opportunity for a lot of indie companies out there to, like, these guys that used to be hard to book are now going to be available. You know what I mean? Not that Ring of Honor guys were hard to get booked, like some of these companies, they always want to put their finger into everything, but Ring of Honor kind of lets you do what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Not like MLW level where it's like, as long as we don't have a show, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. But like Ring of Honor was kind of closer to that side versus the, the east side of like, no, you can't do nothing.
Yeah. It's really interesting to see. It's really going to be interesting to see what happens next year with Ring of Honor and how this brand or pivot or whatever it's going to do. Because I mean, if you lose staples like Danhausen, is that going to be beneficial that you're changing up your company? But I mean, I feel like Danhausen, Cheeseburger, and like I'm trying to think of another one like Jay Lethal, like they were Ring of Honor. Do you know what I
Jay
mean?
Lethal, that was his whole gimmick. Is he's Ring of Honor. He's
That's
the
right.
guy that they built to build the company on. Mayor Matt Taven's,
Yeah.
Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah, Jonathan Gresham. It's like,
Gresham.
how do you move forward with Ring of Honor without some of the guys that were core Ring of Honor guys? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do they get picked up on like maybe appearance contracts for like MLW or AEW, and then when Ring of Honor is back, they're like, okay, guys, we're gonna pick you back up?
Yeah.
Or is it something where like, okay, we're done with you. We don't know what's gonna happen when March comes around or April.
Yeah.
It's very weird that you would just let go of guys who are synonymous with Ring of Honor.
Exactly. And like you're planning this pivot when, I mean, how sure can you be that those guys are going to be available in April?
See, I guarantee you that these are suits. In their eyes, all they're seeing is numbers, and they're seeing, well, we have these guys, and these numbers aren't getting better. So what's the point of bringing them back? Let's do something different. Look at NXT 2.0. They're pushing Braun Breaker, or whatever his fucking name is. Came out of nowhere. Got it. Awesome, right? But then you have some other guys like Joe Gacy and all that are just not like they weren't pushed before. When they're like, fuck it, let's just try something different now. So
right.
I could definitely see
the old break glass, bring out a third generation or second generation talent.
Yeah.
Because he's the Steiner's, whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But just don't call him Steiner.
Did you hear they call him
just don't call
genetic freak? But the genetic freak? Are you fucking kidding?
They call him the genetic freak too?
Yeah. They during this last match they referenced genetic freak. I'm sorry, we don't usually talk about that other shit, but like seriously.
No. But it applies because it went through very similar situation. The only difference is it has the E backing. So
yeah.
So.
I'm interested to see. I'm also interested to see, the Inspiration just won the tag team belts for the women in Impact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious to see on Impact how they're going to do as well. Only because Impact women's division has not been known for their style of wrestling or their style of gimmick or whatever.
Yeah.
It's been known as, it's been Jordan Grace's division. It's been Kiera Hogan. It's been, Tasha Steelz, and now like Savannah Evans, where it's not that type of wrestling like the E. The Inspiration are total, a package of the E brand. And now they're bringing it to Impact. I'm just curious to see how it's going to be received.
Well, Impact used to be that way, kind of.
It used to be. Remember with the beautiful people.
Right.
That's been a long time.
But that was like, but that's
it went back. See, but it's funny because then they have that, but then have Jordan Grace win the social media which is a intergender title. Which
Impact has more belts than I can fucking keep up with. Holy crap!
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
And just make a new fucking belt.
You know what? This is. This is I'm gonna get into a little bit. Just a little rant. So it officially appears that since we're talking about Impact, that AEW relationship with Impact is over. Like supposedly, right? But they're saying like now you're seeing clear cuts. Right. You're not seeing like the Good Brothers and stuff like that. And I'm just like, what the fuck was the point of that?
Yeah, Cage
what, dude? Like. How are you gonna have? Don't get me wrong. Look, I'm the biggest Kenny Omega fan. I have this picture up there signed. I see it every day. It gives me motivation. But how are you gonna have the man show up to your damn promotion, beat all your top guys, and go deuces? Oh wait, Christian, you can go and beat me. What the fuck was that?
And then Christian goes and loses to Josh Alexander, who I'm a huge fan of.
Dude, I'm glad Moose has it now, which was if you guys saw that shit was kind of hilarious.
Yeah, then Alexander had for a minute or two.
Yeah, which was ridiculous. I wish Moose went a different way. Moose should have been the one to beat Kenny Omega or Josh Alexander. Like, dude is right. Put him over. So now, no longer have their relationship. Now, okay, again, I'm part of a lot of groups, but I have not seen that many people say, "Oh, I watch Impact because of AEW. Now I'm gonna keep watching Impact." I've not seen a single person. No, it's just
Nope.
because and it charged me.
When Kenny was on it, I watched it. Kenny left.
Yeah, I tried to watch it and I just wasn't interested. I'm like, this is not. Impact didn't did themselves a disservice themselves because they weren't putting their best foot forward either. But at the same time,
No.
like I would have fought tooth and nail. Like, no, Kenny Omega is not losing, and then didn't he lose it on fucking Impact? He lost it on
No.
fucking
They didn't
AW.
even get the drop. Yeah, they didn't even get the title drop on their television.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? This
Yeah.
I was like, this.
I didn't get that either. I really thought Kenny and Christian could have like maybe started the match or had like a second match, like a first match, at AEW, but then like finish it at Impact or something like that. That way you're kind of bringing in the two brands together so they could drop the belt on Impact. But having them drop it on AEW was a really weird flex. I didn't get how that benefited Impact at all. But the other thing is, you really had Deonna Purrazzo lose to Mickie James.
Can we
Come fucking on, man. Seriously?
And I love
Dude,
Mickie James.
okay. Again, we're not big on lists and stuff like that, right? But she was like number 3 or number 4 in the damn PWI women. Like, she was recognized as a top woman star. And don't get me wrong, I love Mickie James. I'm a huge Mickie. I remember when she was the crazy fanatic for Trish Stratus. Like, I fucking loved her. But come on, it's like her time has come and go. Like, what do you get out of it? I mean, unless she comes out with another badass little music video with the Yin Yang Twins or whatever, like with the belt, like, do some country rap or whatever. But
that'll help Impact.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the one thing I didn't get with Impact at all. So you had Thunder Rosa put over Deonna Purrazzo on the pay-per-view, which was great. Great match. Yeah. She put her over. Deonna Purrazzo looked strong. Yeah. Only for Mickie James to come out and do a mick kick on Deonna Purrazzo. And I was like, well, what was the whole point of the match before to make her look strong then? If Mickie James could just do a mick kick and get her out.
To make Mickie James look even stronger for some random fucking reason. Like, Mickie James needs that. Like, Mickie James.
And is Mickie James a heel or is she babyface?
Apparently she's a that's the whole thing. It's like,
but what is the heel move?
That's what I'm saying. It's like they had her like do this move on Deonna Purrazzo. She gets the big pop, and Deonna Purrazzo like grabs her belt and is so scared. She goes back to the back. They keep building it up, and then all of a sudden, this last pay-per-view, Mickie James beats Deonna Purrazzo, and I'm like, what was the point? Was it because Impact and NWA now want a better relationship? Like, what is the point of all this? And what is the point of Chelsea Green being on 8 different brands? She was on Ring of Honor. She was on Impact. She was on NWA.
Hey, GCW now.
Okay, I'll get GCW. I'm okay with GCW, but I mean, you got her on Ring of Honor. You got her on Impact. You got her on NWA, and then you're talking about bringing in. We're gonna bring in new talent. We're pushing new talent. We're all about the women. Blah blah blah. And then Chelsea Green is the one who wins the women's tournament at NWA. It's like, what? Yeah. What is going on with these companies? I thought this was about new talent, and you're pushing the same old bullshit on us that we've already had. We've already had that. Give us better. You had Masha there. You had, so much more talent there, and you give us Chelsea Green. We didn't want Chelsea Green. We're fine. Nope. We're good. We didn't need Chelsea Green. Yeah. We're fine with it.
Yeah, like her in the package with Matt Cardona, that's fine. I totally get it.
Yeah,
but you know what? I will say though, at least in Impact, it makes sense because that's really where she got like her thing.
Yes.
So honestly, I would have made more sense if she would have won the belt because she has history there.
Oh, I agree. For sure. I mean, former champion multiple times.
Yeah, she was all crazy.
I agree. It's like, what kind of back office dealings are they doing? Oh, bring your talent to NWA. Oh, we're gonna give Mickie the belt. We're gonna give Chelsea the over here. It's like, well, then what's the point of you bringing in all these other women from around the country and getting their hopes up when all you're doing is putting your same 3 people over? Am I happy Masha got a contract? Abso-freaking-lutely. I'm so glad. When she debuts, she better run roughshod on all them women because she is so damn talented.
She's solid. Yeah,
we've seen her.
She's our is it Matt Damon for the talk show or whatever, when they were like, Matt Damon's coming on, or like we always advertise them and then they never show up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Masha for us for this show.
Damn it, Masha.
It's like we've had her booked so many times or wanted her for months in a row, and always something.
But in all honesty, it's like some of this booking and some of this talent, I get it. I get that Mickie James is a legend. I get that she wanted to do the women's revolution, even though it was already happening, but whatever, get your moment.
Yeah.
But she didn't need the belt. She didn't need it.
That's
There's no point.
The point was to make her stronger. Like what?
Good job.
Good job. You made her stronger, but you made
someone
your
that's probably a borderline Hall of Famer already.
Yeah.
Like, make her stronger. Like what the fuck?
And you made Deanna, and you built up Deanna Purrazzo for what? She was your champion for a year.
It was meaningless. No.
It was like, what for? Like there was no point to it. It was just like, hey, Mickie James is here. We should give her the belt. Okay, cool. Let's do it. It's like,
because she decided to come back, and let's just give her a belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no point onto it, so I don't get it.
Yeah. Okay, to talk about no point. This is actually I can talk about New Japan for a quick hot second here, and so as we all know, Okada won the G1, right?
Yep.
So everyone was kind of confused on what the hell he was talking about in his promo. So we all thought he was just like, oh, he's burying the current heavyweight belt, and he's talking about like, oh, because I beat Ibushi. Now I am the actual IWGP Heavyweight Champion, and I don't need a contract. And if anyone wants to no belt, they have to come after me. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. Lo and behold, during one of the house shows this week, this fool comes out with the version 4 of the IWGP Heavyweight belt. I was like, what's going on? Evil's doing absolutely nothing. So let's baby. But yeah, no. So now you have Okada. Instead of walking around with a briefcase, he's walking around with a damn fucking belt, and I love it. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. The logic is completely broken because he was like, oh well, the G1 is actually for the IWGP Heavyweight belt, not for the World Heavyweight belt. I'm like, semantics, really? Are we playing fucking semantics here? Like, get the fuck out. So now you have 3 technically world champions and for IWGP. You have Will Ospreay with the fake one here in the States. You have the actual champion, which is Chingo, and now you have Okada walking around with the Virgin 4 belt. And he said he doesn't even care to go after Chingo's belt. He's like, Chingo could have his thing. It's the same thing. Talk about Impact. It's how they did the Impact World have with the Impact World Championship, and then they brought out the old one, the old TNA Championship. It's the same concept. It makes absolutely no damn sense, but if it means Okada's back to his old dick self, then fuck it.
That's what I was saying. That was the positive.
Yeah.
It's like,
why not?
Okada that I like.
Yeah, exactly. That is the Okada that we need. That's the Okada that we need. But now it's just a pretty interesting situation because there is 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom. So I guarantee we're gonna see some type of it's gonna be Ospreay versus Okada, and whoever wins against him, then we'll go up against the real belt, and they'll combine it. What I'm hoping is that they bring back the IC belt, but whatever.
It's only 2 nights.
Yeah, it's only so okay. So it's 2 nights, and then there's a 3rd night, which is like a special night, which but it's gonna be it's like you know how WWE did like WrestleMania Fastlane or whatever nonsense.
Yeah.
So it's like Wrestle Kingdom, whatever, blah blah blah. So it's a 3rd night, but we don't know what it is because it's 50-year anniversary for New Japan. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Originally, before they doing this, they would have New Year's Dash, which is the equivalent of like Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, where everything would just go fucking insane and it'll be all the stuff like that. But we don't know where it is. But yeah, that's what's currently happening with New Japan. They're doing some crazy shit with Okada. That was pretty cool. Oh, and they're running some shows now, and they're actually running some shows in San Francisco area or San Fran area. So that's gonna be good for New Japan Strong. And actually talking about like having issues working in some areas. So Will Ospreay right now is in America, and he went and he went to MLW. So MLW is gonna run a show in Mexico. And New Japan told Will Ospreay, if there are any AAA wrestlers on that show, you cannot be there.
Oh, what?
Yes, because the hate between CMLL and AAA is not.
Oh,
It cannot. It is nowhere else in the world.
Oh.
It is a like blood feud, like where
so I wonder.
they will pull wrestlers out of indie shows if they have other wrestlers from AAA or CML. It's crazy. So
So I don't
Wow.
know if
so
it's a spoiler
now
alert or
most
whatever,
likely
but
Will Ospreay can't do their Mexico show because of that. Because
he was just on the Jericho cruise.
yeah.
Osprey
Yeah,
was.
but yeah, he didn't wrestle though. He just showed up
He was
and
on
did the
the
whole
Jericho cruise. Yeah.
Danhausen, or was it Danhausen, or was it
Yep.
yeah, the
I'm just
whole
saying
Yeah.
though. I'm just saying. I'm not saying,
yeah.
but I'm saying.
Wow.
He
I'm
was on.
telling
He
you,
was on the Jericho cruise.
yeah,
That's talent.
dude, that's what we need.
I
That's what we
mean,
need. I'm telling you.
I
But yeah,
mean,
so that is the New Japan segment of this nonsense because Okada's awesome. So
Yeah,
yes,
he is.
Okada,
I love me Okada. I love me
yes,
some Okada.
all right.
for
Well, I
sure.
guess then we can go from there to get up to speed on AEW.
Yeah, for sure.
AEW. Man, lots of things coming out of AEW. Let's start with really quickly just some negative. They were saying that some people were walking out after the Eddie Kingston Brian Danielson match,
Yeah.
which I mean, dude, if you can't stay, then why are you going, man? I mean,
Was
No,
it in
no,
Los
no, 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 no,
Angeles?
no, no, no,
Was
no,
the show in Los
hold on.
Angeles? Because then it would
Let
make
me.
sense.
I will. Okay, I will say this as a person
yeah,
who drives very far. Sometimes I look at like, especially on a Wednesday, man. I try to find any excuse to get the hell out of Dodge. If I can like get out of traffic or like avoid something. And the matches they did have, in all fairness, are not the most like captivating ones. So
right, right,
after being there for, because sometimes they'll do like
Yeah,
AW
so
Dark, and
right,
then they
right,
do
right.
AW, and then they go to here. At that point, you're like 4 hours in, possibly, right? And if you have like a 3 hour drive or something like that, man, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I love y'all, but after this, I gotta bounce. So I get it. So I totally
yeah,
understand.
I
It's
sadly get it too. Like growing up a
yeah.
Dodger fan and going to Dodger games like since
Oh,
the
dude,
'80s.
dude,
Seventh inning
Yankee.
comes around, like people start leaving whether you're winning or losing. It doesn't
Yep,
matter. We're gonna beat
dude,
the
Can't.
traffic. I
I
Yankee
understand,
games.
know.
We used to,
and I know
especially was
that's just Melanie too in a certain way because she knows
yeah,
how
Damn,
no,
damn Dodgers, man. Dodgers fans always piss me off because
so much.
I would show there early, then all of a sudden they show up by the third inning, and then they're leaving by like the eighth inning and seventh
Yeah,
inning, and I'm like,
and they do
dude,
the stretch and they bounce. Like
come
they don't sit
no,
on,
back
man.
down after the stretch. They're like grab our shit and go.
no, dude, that's everything. So the Yankees, we do that shit too, especially if it's a doubleheader. Oh, you better believe if it's like the eighth inning, and if it's a regular season
But
game, like,
Dodgers do
hey,
this anytime.
yo,
It could be a Sunday
yo,
afternoon game and
we have to
Dodgers do
we have to
that.
cut your subway back, or we gotta get the hell, we gotta
I
get
heard
before.
eighth inning and ninth inning of games from the car ride home when I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh
The
yeah, no,
boldest
the.
I did of actually seeing games.
Yeah, no,
And
I remember I used to get so annoyed because I used to go with a friend of mine, and he would always want to go in like in the eighth or the ninth. I'm like, the Yankees are still have a chance. They're like, well, you know what? We can go ahead. We could go ahead and listen to it on radio. It's like,
especially being
fuck.
baseball, like games never like the famous saying, "It's not over till it's over."
Yep.
No
Yeah.
It's
matter like
yeah.
the
Hold
bear.
on.
I didn't say bear. That's the mask.
Uh,
Um,
but yeah, no, so I totally
the beauty of
understand.
baseball, it's never over till it's over, and
Yeah, yeah,
That's
wrestling is
true.
over till
Yeah,
it's over.
exactly.
yeah. So I mean, I totally understand. But the way it was worded too, it was like lots and lots of people. Like,
I wonder.
yeah, I wonder like how many, like what is lots,
I
right?
know. And they
Like
all those wrestling writers, they always exaggerate. And they're always like, oh, there were so many. They were leaving in droves. And it's like, man, it was probably like 10. But it's just like,
Yeah,
come on, man.
yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
I'm excited. I'm excited for a lot of people getting opportunities on Dark. You guys know that. And one of them was that somebody did like a little sneak peek picture of what happened on Dark. La Rosa Negra was there, who is an amazing talent, and she needs to get her
great person.
flowers now because I mean,
Great person.
just such an awesome, talented, athletic wrestler,
Giving,
and she needs to be seen. Seriously,
and
you
she's
know?
giving too. Like she'll do training. She's a great person. Even though
Yeah.
he took a swing at me the last time I saw her wrestle live.
Oh, did you deserve it?
Probably. She tried to knock. I was rubbing the PPW belts in her face, and she tried to.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. So you did deserve it.
probably.
Yeah.
But
Probably.
after the show, it was like, she's amazing.
Yeah. Hey,
You know-
and I just want to say that I think I'm over the ATT thing now. I think I like You know,
I think we've done that.
yeah, no, like I was really high into like Dan Lambert and then ATT guys, and then and then it just keeps going, and I'm like, okay, see, I know the stipulation EC3 one's gonna win, but I'm like, okay, you gotta have give Scorpio Sky a chance. I'm gonna pull a Brad. Give Scorpio Sky a chance. Come on, man.
I'm with you. I think that I don't know what happened with Scorpio Sky. I don't know why they have him with those guys, those MMA guys. I don't get it. I mean, I'm kind of over the whole Dan Lambert thing. I'm over that whole gimmick. I just the American Top Team. I'm over it. Like, just if you want Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page to do their thing, then let them do their thing
on their own.
Those guys can talk. They don't need a manager. Both of them are like great on the mic. They're so talented.
Is so good on the mic.
Yeah, it's like I feel like that.
Scorpio Sky is too.
Yeah, he really is, and I feel like that ATT thing is. I feel like that's just it's holding them back at this point because it's getting annoying.
And I wonder, because it's like let's put them together to help somebody, right? That's always the situation when you put people together. Like, did they do this to help ATT? Like, try to amount to something that worth a fuck? Because it couldn't have been the other way around.
No, it couldn't have been the other way around. There's no way.
There's no way.
Well, so Tony Khan did say in an interview that he's actually friends with Dan Lambert, and like I guess they were just having discussions. And if you remember, Dan Lambert did his thing before with TNA and Impact when it was
Dan Lambert is the hugest mark of all marks. Like he loves.
He is, yeah. So I can totally see them. Like, hey, oh wait, you have Masvidal too? Oh hell yeah, let's work something. I mean, and there is some interesting like Paige Van Zandt, like that's someone like okay, that's someone you can train up and all that, and you can definitely see she definitely she's taking opportunities.
Like they just threw her in here recently.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's like I get it, but that's one of the storylines where I'm just like, you know what?
Like is Junior Signal Dos Santos trying to be a wrestler? No. Like I doubt it.
Yeah,
exactly. What I mean? Jorge Masvidal's still an active fighter. Like he's still. I mean, I know his age is up there, and he's had a lot of his buttons been pressed here lately, but he's still gonna have some fights. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, what was the point?
Yeah.
Like, because my buddy, like, he can go and wants to be a heel. It's like, okay.
Yes. Scorpio guy is the best.
And then what? That's always what I always ask. And then what? Because it has to matter. Like, it has to matter.
Yeah. And
I
mean that's what I said. I'm kind of over that, but you know what? I am glad to see. I am glad to see the cowboy back. Cowboy shit. I'm glad he's back. Hangman out of Page. I know he took some time off for his family, but the way they brought him back was just like perfect and bringing him in slowly. It was great. And I loved the whole Halloween gimmick of him as the Stay Puff and doing it. I mean, I always get a pop. I always pop for those guys because the way that they always do stuff is always just so entertaining. And I know people are like, stop that shit, blah, blah, blah. This is wrestling. I was like, yeah, dude, it's wrestling. It's supposed to be entertaining. That's the whole point. That's the other half of wrestling is entertainment. I don't know if
it is, and it's not like overall corny too, like so I'm all about that. I truly hope that like this has to be where Hangman Page wins. Like I just
absolutely. I'm so excited for that. The moment is going to be so epic, and it's just I can't even imagine the crowd. The crowd's going to be so hype off of it. It's going to be so hype.
That's when it makes me the most nervous, when it's like something that looks so obvious.
No, see, Josh. This is
a long reign. I think it's the longest ever now, or will be if it hasn't already been the longest reign. Hangman's had the 2-year wait and all this and everything, so it's like obviously he's gonna win.
Yeah. See. You know what, Josh? This goes back to us being like just like scarred and like having trauma from being a WWF WWE fan. Yeah, this is because AEW. So for the most part, they try to actually like help with the fans and actually care and whatnot. So very rarely do I see them go like, they didn't book the actual shit. Oh my god, wait, whoa, who is this guy? Who's this?
It's Numero Dos.
Oh hey.
We said his name a couple of times and he pops up.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Brad? Hey, you missed it. Put over Scorpio Sky. You just missed it. Now we're no longer talking about Scorpio Sky now. Oh shit, my phone.
I think my mask is really crooked. It's not sitting on my face right. It's really. Well, how is it going? What are y'all talking about?
We were talking about Scorpio Sky 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, you totally just missed it. And now we're talking about Adam Page.
What about Adam Page? Adam Page is the worst. I'm not doing this right.
Every time you
What?
fix it gets more and more crooked, by the
Dude,
way.
what are you
I'm gonna put it on like in the what the heck?
I don't know, but you're starting to look like Spider-Man after Goblin tore the crap out of you.
What's that?
Don't pay attention to me.
I don't think I can do anything but pay attention to you and your crooked mask.
We're literally.
What's up, everybody? I'm Numero Dos. I'm back. I'm ready to talk some shit. Fuck you guys. I can't get my mask right. I don't know what's wrong with that thing.
I was just talking about how nervous I am.
Are you? Please tell me y'all talking about how terrible this entire gimmick that he's in. Even if it's starting to turn, even if people are interested, even if there's MMA, like it's awful, it's garbage. Like that guy deserved way better than this shtick that he got.
That's exactly what we were talking about in a nutshell. That's it.
Man,
that's pretty much it.
Udo Bro even shouted you out while he did it. Huh?
What did he say?
Well, I'm gonna do this for Numero Dos and say like Scorpio Sky doesn't need this.
This fucking bullshit. And he's probably pissed too. Like this kind of really does feel like a little bit of a bench treatment. Like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and hop on, show you some dedication to your product, re-sign with you for 5 years. 5 years is a long time.
5 years.
Scorpio's age.
That's a huge contract.
Re-signs, and they're like, here, go right back into another tag team, which quite frankly, Ethan Page didn't need to be paired up in a tag team either. That guy's got enough charisma and ego himself. And with this MMA gimmick.
I mean, I didn't
for 2 years, and I just got Sling a couple weeks ago because y'all were so jazzed up about AEW, and now I'm just watching Scorpio Sky do this. And I'm like,
yeah, that to me has been like it's slowly going downhill with this ATT, this whole top team thing. Because I mean, that's to me it's just like, oh man, not again. Like, okay, I get it. I actually, when it was just Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, I liked them together. I liked them beating up Darby, doing the whole spot down rolling down the stairs and everything. I liked him like running roughshod on people. But then you're like, okay. I feel like they kind of got like an E treatment where they're like, oh, no, wait. We don't want you that over yet. I'm going to move you over here.
Whoa. We weren't ready for that yet. Nope.
We weren't ready for you guys to be that over. Hold on.
That's working too good.
So I'm going to put you with the American Top Team, and Dan Lambert is now going to speak for you. And you're like, why, man? You got two guys who are hot on the mic, can talk for themselves, but you're still going to put Dan Lambert to yell at everybody? It's like, I'm so over that guy. I'm so over that.
And it's that go home heat, not the like heel heat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That stuff that Britt Baker used to get.
Yeah, exactly.
That undeserved heat that Britt Baker got.
Yeah.
Hey, Brad.
I don't know if it was undeserved.
Take your mask off.
It wouldn't fit. I couldn't get it right. Like the last
I thought
time,
we'd be like Rey Mysterio brothers, man.
The last time I try here, Ashley, give me that mask back. Where'd it go? Let me try. All right, here we go. I hope you're ready for this. This whole thing. If this mask comes on right, the first way, ROH has to re-sign everybody.
Oh fuck.
Look,
no, we in trouble.
I'm still a free agent. Oh, shit.
Matt.
I don't know.
Close, that was your closest try.
No.
Why are you so crooked? I don't get it.
Ashley,
Yeah, dude. What?
You know what's worse? My wife is sitting right there.
Staring at you, fumbling around.
Yeah, just totally.
There you go. That's better.
Move it.
Listen.
No, other way.
Why don't you help me? Because I'm. This whole show has just been. You know what? This. We got cut off. So what are we talking about outside of Scorpio Sky disaster? Because I can't just tune in here. That's one thing hit my earlobes.
Well, we already talked about the Ring of Honor, all the Ring of Honor stuff that, you know, and we talked about Impact and we talked about, you know, we were just starting on AEW.
Hangman Page.
Yeah, Hangman Page coming back has just been so great, and I'm so excited to see where he goes from here.
And they were saying how much they're looking forward to whenever he goes over and becomes champ. And I'm like, that's when it's so obvious is when I get nervous. So that's when things get messed up.
Well, you know.
And then they're saying it's scarred from the E, your company that you own.
Well, and not only that, like at the end of the day, here's the deal: like, why is Hangman Page so popular?
Just the way they built him up. I think it's just honestly the way they built him up. The whole storyline of him not getting along with the elite anymore and just being like this odd man out, and he took this dark turn and being part of the Dark Order. I just think they've built his character so well that you can't help but sympathize with him and want him to be the champ.
Yeah. Someone made a remark the other day online that I saw that I thought was pretty genius. Hangman's Cinderella story is never going to result in him making it to the ball.
Because you mean like a Tommy Dreamer?
If you really look at it, it's like so indicative of like every time he's almost there, something happens and it derails it. One time, I don't know if it was health or COVID. Another time was like personal thing in life. Then Brody Lee, the Dark Order story, like Brody Lee kind of came in, took that one over. There's been a lot of areas that Hangman Page is starting to get really hot, only to kind of teeter off to like, is AEW really? Are they really playing the Hangman long game, or do fans just misinterpret the situation? Like, is Hangman Page really title bound? Like, that seems to be everybody's opinion. This is the current chapter of Hangman, but it's 2 years.
Yeah, but I think the final story that's gonna be told with them is simply because it's oh my god.
No! I knew it.
Oh my god. No, but I think the final story where the whole story arc completes together is when the elite come back. When it's like Hangman Page and Young Bucks and all that, and their baby faces. I think that's like the.
Like I said, when you think that's happening, then here comes Adam Cole. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what I was saying. Hangman Page was a bookmark when Adam Cole left. Like, Hangman Page kind of was like, okay, well, Adam went to WWE, but Hangman? Yeah?
Yeah.
Wait, Brian Danielson is
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I get it. And no, Ryan says that Bryan Danielson is not the Daniel Bryan of AEW. Hangman Adam Page is.
I mean, that's the angle they're trying to do with them.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Kind of like when Daniel Bryan, where Bryan Danielson was trying to make it, then he cut his legs off, and then did again, and they just kept putting obstacle upon obstacle.
Yeah.
I could see that. But the difference is like they actually they believe in Adam Page. Like, they did everything they could to like stop Bryan Danielson too.
And I think he's a great talent, and he's a great guy. All that good stuff. I think it's going to be heartbreak.
It's typecast into wrestling fans' minds that for a wrestler to be over or to be established or to be vindicated in his career, that he has to win a world title. Yeah. And I really don't think that that's true.
I think
every single sport or thing that we do, there are people that had great movies and didn't win Oscars. There are people that played great football and never went to the Super Bowl. Like that shit happens. Like,
he still gets a huge pop being the fucking wild card in the fucking casino battle royal.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right. Like, really, essentially, like, over is just established. Like, over is working. When wrestling pays your bills, like, whether you're a heel or a face, like, you're some level of over. And I think that when we reach this point where we start demanding like title runs and things out of it, like, honestly, maybe AEW, maybe Hangman Page is kind of AEW's way of reminding fans that while they're a big part of this, they don't run the show, they don't book shit,
Yep.
That's been a big expectation. People really do talk about Hangman Page like his destiny is yet to be fulfilled. I'm like, you don't know that he'll ever win that belt.
Yeah, that's true.
Mikey Whipwreck used to tell people he wanted to go his entire ECW career or whoever.
Tommy Dreamer. You think about Tommy Dreamer?
Nasty Dreamer. I can't believe I remember.
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer. Yeah. Hey.
The mindset was right.
The second.
Like, I don't need. You don't.
That was
need
the last rant we're getting to.
Huh?
We're getting to that rant in a minute.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's what I was trying to throw Tommy Dreamer. But go on. Is there anything else with AEW and all that, or?
Well, that mindset is what I'm saying. Like, I like that mindset of saying I don't need to win a belt to be over.
Yeah.
Like I'm over. Like, I think when you start demanding so much out of Hangman, that's when you kind of put AEW like in a corner. Like, what does AEW do with Hangman? Because you're only demanding a title run.
I mean,
I agree. And he doesn't need it.
And we don't reference
look at what's his name? Eddie Kingston. He may never get the belt, but that dude is so over because he kills it in every single promo. His promo with Bryan Danielson, and Bryan Danielson like brings in a little bit of realism and brings in a little bit of maybe a truth. And they both do that, and he and Moxley are starting to do that. They bring in a little bit of hint of truth into their promos, whether they're truth or not. To us, they feel like a truth.
Yeah.
And it just makes that burn, or that makes that, like, the twisting the knife a little bit deeper and a little bit more, to what makes the show and the match so much better.
Yeah.
I think that's what helps sell the match, honestly, because Bryan Danielson, to me, it's like the kid gloves are off. There's no more of the E holding him back and keeping him PG-13. Not that he's like this raunchy R-rated guy or anything like that, but it's like
it's more open though.
His mood is more open. And he's like, I'm going to tell you to your face, I'm enjoying this and I'm going to smile, but I'm still going to be real with you, and I'm still going to, like, cut your legs off and tell you how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that Eddie Kingston was the perfect person to bring him in. Whether this was a dream match or not, I thought, oh my God, this is kind of an odd pairing, but damn, it was so good.
And it worked.
Like that back and forth was so good.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm ready for it. I want to see this match. I haven't seen it, but I'm waiting for it.
There are way more dream matches outside of title pictures. I mean, that's just where it's at. Like, honestly, like, the dream matches almost never have titles involved. Like, you're lucky if one gets involved, but really, like, The Rock and Austin didn't need a title for that to be as hot as
I was gonna talk about Austin too. If you think about it, like, you look back at his legacy, like, think of his great moments, his great matches. Like, how long do you go down that list before you talk about Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when he became a champion. That was his first championship.
And if you look at that picture, one of the biggest reasons that, to me, I always kind of felt like one of the bigger reasons that Stone Cold had to have the title was not because it legitimizes Stone Cold. It actually legitimizes Vince McMahon and the feud with him, because it put that image that you can come into your boss's business and take the big shit and still own shit. You know what I mean? Like, without that title, Stone Cold still does absolutely everything that he can do, but putting the title on him was just one more thing to make you be like, fuck you, Vince. You don't even have your title, you big bitch.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes the title win isn't even, I mean, it's a major thing, I'm sure. And he has it in a trophy case at his house. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it matters. Because then it's like, okay, finally I am the guy, no question, blah, blah, blah. But, like I said, like, you're going to think of a lot of things about Stone Cold before you think of, and, at WrestleMania, was it 15? He beat Shawn Michaels, Mike Tyson, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, okay. And that's because Mike Tyson was in the fucking ring. Like, but there's a lot of shit more than that,
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's crazy for me to even say to, like, lessen anything that Shawn Michaels was ever a part of, this, all-time favorite. Hurt me a little bit.
So, hey, and how do you feel about White coming in? Supposedly he changed, took everything off. I feel like I'm on loan here, where I don't care. I feel like I'm just like, oh, great.
Why? He said it right to you, buddy. He said it right to AEW.
And that's the thing, is like, AEW, it's like eventually we're gonna get to a point where they need to quit signing people. I think, like, I don't know.
I mean, it goes back to my earlier rant. They don't need to sign any more people.
See, Brad, you missed the rant. Brad, you missed the rant.
That was my rant. Is that if they really are, if the rumors are true and they're already picking up 20 guys from ROH, why? Not that the ROH guys aren't talented and I don't want them to work. It's just like, why? You have such a padded roster already. Why?
Are you going to go to 3 hours? You're going to go to, you know what I mean? Do all the bad things that everybody hates.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
they're having a pissing contest, and that's the reality of it. Like, Jay Lethal. Why would y'all sign Jay Lethal? Why would AEW sign Jay Lethal?
And he was one of the names on the list, along with, like, Danhausen and Gresham. And it's like, why? Why are these guys on your list? You need to concentrate. You just signed Daniel Garcia. And you keep pushing him. All they're going to do is push him to back to the line, because you got Jay Lethal and Flip Gordon and Gresham and EC3 all these matches now. It's like, why?
I don't want that. See, and they'll argue, they're like, oh, hey, but what about stop it. But
hey,
what about
real talk though? That's true. Like, have you been to Angel's apartment? Have you sat on the couch? Like
Oh
Angel could definitely buy a Ring of Honor, and I'm talking about back in the day. Right now, for sure, but back in the day, for sure, too. Like at the height of Ring
Fuck
of
out of
Honor.
here. Fuck
He
out of
probably
here,
could
man.
have got Ring of Honor and PWG. To be fair, he probably could have got package deal.
Man, get out of here. Yeah, no, but that's why, like, when they're saying like, hey, they want to sign Bandito and stuff like that, like,
Stuff like that
I feel like they AEW already has some issues. Like, how long did it take them to really book like Lucha Bros and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So like, I would love. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to see I would love to see Bandito and do some good stuff. But it's just, I
I mean,
mean,
do we want a nightly AEW show?
listen, like I told y'all, I haven't watched a single. Actually, I'm watching AEW right now. As a matter of fact, I haven't watched wrestling at all this week. I feel terrible, but I just haven't had time. I just don't.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So that's what we need is let's have 2 more AEW shows.
Nah, man. I mean, what do we do? Have AEW Dark and AEW.
Actually, supposed to know what's wrong with your time
Rampage.
machine and why you haven't gone back yet and watched any wrestling.
Rampage. She's watching. It
First
right
off, is a TARDIS. It's not a time
It's
machine.
a TARDIS.
You noob. God, it's up there. It's in the corner right here.
I always thought of you as more of like a
it's right
Hermione
there.
who had the necklace that spins it, and then you get to go back in time to class.
He's calling you Harry Potter character.
I'm
Oh
just
my
saying,
God.
like,
I mean, Harry Potter can do it.
always
See, that
have
went over my head.
this.
So, yeah, I'm not a Potterhead, so, or a pothead, whatever you call him.
Now you know how I feel when y'all talk about anything but wrestling. In here.
He's talking to you about the
I have no
Hermione
idea what
time
the fuck I'm
turner.
talking about.
He's
I don't know what
all,
TARDIS, like what's a TARDIS?
all my
I don't know
Harry
anything
Potter
about none of
nerds.
that.
He's talking about the Hermione time turner. Yeah.
Hermione's is a chick. I remember her. Okay,
Here's the thing.
I believe you.
I like it.
When is AEW
nice.
going to get 1 million viewers?
No, it gets 1 million viewers.
No, it doesn't.
No, it got. It got.
Dynamite has.
It
Dynamite
got-
has.
Wait. Okay, because I mean, I don't keep up with viewership. That's a conversation I could give 2 flying fucks about. But hey, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, but I feel like it was like 1.3, 1.2, 1.3. Like, did it go below 1 million again?
It's been dipping since it's since
Y'all,
it debuted. It's
are
been
you
dipping.
talking about the 2 weeks that you had 1 million when Punk?
No, it wasn't 2 weeks. It was like a good 4 or 5 weeks or something like that.
It was over a month.
No, it was. Oh, for sure, it was a couple
It
weeks.
tapered off pretty quick. But either way, though, you
After
guys
Punk
are
back
down
up,
to 515,000 views. And just in case you didn't know, ads are what pay talent, ads and merch. And the big struggle you have with AEW's merch is AEW doesn't make their own merch.
Exactly.
So AEW has to pay a middleman, and he has to pay a middleman price. Not like Vince McMahon, who probably pays sweatshop prices. Dirty old man.
I don't know. I don't think those guys over there at the E are getting much better of a deal on their merch either.
Oh,
Honestly.
not even close.
No.
Not even close.
But I mean, they're not buying from a retailer. PWTs is a retailer.
Yeah, but those guys have been in business with them for so long. They've got to get a better deal than, let's say, a indie wrestler number 5 who goes and puts his shirts on PWT.
I don't think so. I'm in that Facebook group, and I tell you, the owners in there a lot, and there are people that spend thousands in there, and they get the same 20% off coupon the rest of you guys do. I don't think that Ryan Barkin and Pro Wrestling Tees cuts AEW a huge deal. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's a retail store involved. There's paying their own employees to manufacture their shirt. There's a lot of middleman territory.
Yeah.
Pro Wrestling Tees type business. There's a lot of people that got to get paid. And keep in mind that Pro Wrestling Tees is more expensive and over fist day of the week than WWE products, and their sales are the same sale. 20% all the time. WWE runs buy one, get one, buy two, get, like, it's tough to argue that the cost, you know what I mean? Like, I just think if you can't really establish 1 million viewers or more, you can't have a roster of 57 fucking people. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I agree.
It's only a matter of
What do they
time
do?
before Tony Khan has to start paying those bills out of his own pocket, and that's not reasonable. That's not
it's not.
business.
I kind of feel I don't know how it's not already happening. Actually, but.
Right.
I mean, it's only November. We'll see what happens December, January when those bills start coming due and those contracts start, running out.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've yet to really release a couple of people. I mean, obviously, some people have been released quietly.
Yeah.
But But I'm wondering, is there going to be like, okay, we're going to release them quietly? Or like, is it going to be a handful? Is it going to be nobody? Because I don't think that everybody's safe.
Are they
Even for this
doing the
go-around,
whole
I don't think there's
not
going to be people
renewed,
safe.
or just not renewed, so it's not a release?
Exactly,
Like,
or just not renew.
Like, we're just not going to renew your contract, so we don't have to
Look
announce
at
that you're getting
FTR.
banned.
They said FTR was on a 1-year deal, and they're still there.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's what I'm saying. I think AEW. I think actually where AEW might be making this work is maybe a lot of AEW signing deals are dirt cheap because a lot of their talent that is on their roster is still heavily indie driven. So you got to wonder if maybe AEW is working out a contract scenario where you can do X amount of month, and that's every week this year.
Sorry, that got a little.
It's all good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we'll see what happens when it comes to the new TV deals. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't follow these rating stuff. Like at first I was like really into, but I'm telling you, I like to listen to Meltzer and Alvarez just because I find their conversations very hilarious at times. Nothing bores me like when he starts talking about fucking like talks to demographics and about hour by hour and the
play out.
That's the part I don't like. That is the part that gets really petty. Like, oh well, these 50 people watched me. But really and truly, it doesn't matter. It's about like where the ads are paying you out from this perspective. Yeah, from the argument of who's got better talent, blah blah blah, stories, whatever. But from a money perspective, you have to make the revenue. You have to have revenue to pay.
Yeah. Hey, but we'll see. But hey, I don't want to remove the chance for Josh to rant one more time before we go. I think. I think you wanted to bring up something relating to our man Tommy Dreamer. Well, used to be my man.
Situations
not so
like,
much anymore.
Situations like him, and it's just like, okay, so we have these movements, right? And I support 99% of them. You know what I mean? Can't say 100%. Nobody's perfect. Nothing's perfect. But it's like, so how long is long enough? Like that's the fucking question. And then who makes that decision? Like you say something that was obviously bad enough to get you fucking taken off of a show, and then it's like, okay, then I'll go home for a little bit, like, you know, pat on the wrist, and then you come back like no big deal. So like you say shit, you condone shit that is basically was sexual assault, saying that that's just the way it is. Oh well, he needs to go, cancel, whatever. Here we are. Has it been 2 months?
No.
A month and a half. Right?
It's been like a month and change.
Of Dark Side of the Ring, it was 6 episodes ago, so that's 6 weeks ago. And he's fucking back on Busted Open Radio. 6 weeks. So that's the penalty for condoning sexual assault. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know. Like, it's just like, what? And then they're like, Tommy's back. Woohoo! Tommy's back. Yay. He left for a fucking reason. He got kicked off the show for a fucking reason, and now that reason just doesn't matter anymore.
He's on Busted Open, right?
Yeah, Busted Open Radio. That's where he is. Yeah, he's
the one that's brought him back though yet, right?
Yeah.
I think so. This was the point that I made today, and you kind of got to trace back.
Where else was he though?
Oh, he was with Impact. He was a booker.
He was at Impact.
He was in Impact. He does a House of Glory or House of Hardcore.
House of Hardcore.
That's his company. House of
Hardcore
is his.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
He can do that whenever he wants. Yeah.
I think if you're really looking at like cancel culture is really kind of mixing. Cancel culture is kind of really mixing it up. But what you really have to evaluate is where Tommy Dreamer came back to, and that's Busted Open Radio, which is driven heavily by Bubba Ray. If you remember a few years ago, back in the day, ROH got a really bad rep, and it was because Bubba Ray was actually like he was the booker. He was like verbally assaulting fans.
Yep.
Talent, and they were saying it was well above just like fans being assholes. Like fans would heckle his girlfriend, and he would drag them back there and be like, "Don't do that shit. You behave." He also booked himself into another prime position despite him being 50 years old or whatever.
Yep.
And it was that toxic booker mentality. That was what was really kind of, to me, always the death sentence to ROH. Because you went from that to going, all right, we fixed it. Here's Marty Scurll. And then they're like, fuck! But Bubba Ray is himself kind of a piece of shit. So,
but that's not Bubba Ray's show. That's the
Yeah, no, it's Dave the Greca the Greca.
Bubba Ray's the co-host, just like him.
Yeah, but you know,
I always thought that they were kind of like it was their
David
show.
LaGreca.
Nah, like if you hear the show, they say full well, this is your show. We're just here to go along
I'm
with
not
it.
saying it was all Dave's decision to bring Tommy back either, though.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah. No, because I totally felt like when they gave the explanation, Dave was the one who gave like the really passionate, like, yeah, this is not cool whatsoever.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
whatever, and
then
you know,
like 6 weeks later.
yeah, and I just want to
I'm
just
a
go.
fan of that show. Like I love that show, and I'm a
Yeah.
huge Dave LaGreca. Like I've tried to get Dave LaGreca on this show like 100
Yeah.
times. Like,
Yeah.
like that's conversation. I hung out with him on the first cruise, the Jericho cruise. Like he's a freaking awesome dude.
Yeah. Oh, and I just want to say like
I fucking hung out with him and text message him.
And I just want to say to
We
talk
all
about
thought
that.
at
It's
one
like,
point Joey Ryan was a good fucking dude. He's a fucking worthless piece of shit.
yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
that guy.
yeah, and like,
Not
and like,
Juan. Not Juan. Juan
Not
never
Juan, no,
thought
no,
Joey Ryan
right.
was a good dude.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's what we all said. Like, man,
Kudos.
look at this. On this day, Juan is the one guy in the rest of the
Shining.
world that's like,
Shine
hold on,
bright like a diamond.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I got a video of Shane oiling him up. One of the
oh yeah,
fans do the baby oil.
But you know what? Here's the thing with the whole you know, Tommy Dreamer is the fact that I think time is going to tell whether or not he stays at the radio station or if he leaves or the show, only because people were even calling in today and being like, "What the hell is he doing back?"
Yeah, no, they got
wow.
heat for it. They got heat
People
for it.
were they
And
got heat for it.
on shows like ours today. Like it happened today, and we have a talk show, and we're fucking pissed about it.
So people
Like,
were
I'm
already.
sure we're not the only ones.
No, I'm sure.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah, you're not the only. We're not the only ones. I mean, the problem is that
I don't speak for
we're gonna
y'all.
see in the coming weeks what the backlash really is, because I mean, it's one thing to be like, okay, he's not going to be on the show for a while, but then when you do bring him back, has it settled? Has it not settled? Because obviously people were calling in and getting through and being like, what the hell, guys? Why is he on the show?
My main question though is how can it settle, and like who's to say how long it takes to settle?
See,
Yeah.
Like it happened, and it was
Yeah.
bad enough to get you off the show. So how is it all of a sudden now okay for you to be back on?
Yeah, no,
my sister's here dropping off her dog. I gotta go.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta bounce pretty soon too. But I just want to say,
we're wrapping it up.
yeah, you know what? Like we don't know. It's like Marsh Girl is in Puerto Rico right now, wrestling, looking like fucking Kenny Omega, right? And it's like, because I'm in like one Puerto Rican group, and people are justifying. They're like, well, like, you know, we feel like it's been long enough. I was like, is it? I don't know. It's when it comes to these things, it's hard to say when has someone showed that like that. They're truly back. Like
Exactly.
I followed Tommy because I was a huge ECW fan. I followed Tommy Dreamer his whole career. This dude is super opinionative. It takes very hard to change his fucking opinion about anything. He's very opinionative. He doesn't give a fuck what your opinion is. It's hard for me to believe that he understands the gravity of what he fucking said and
Exactly.
did in a month and a half.
And I'm sorry, but guys like Chase and Rance running schools in Florida, there should be no time limit. He is a registered sex offender, registered, not accused, not maybe could have, no, registered, went to jail, found guilty.
Pled guilty.
I pled guilty. Yes,
Yeah.
pled guilty.
Oh.
Went to jail.
No gray area.
Registered. There is no gray area.
You're done.
And he's still running a wrestling school where he's in contact with minors, teens, women, and everybody's like, cool, leave the guy alone. No, he should not be around teenage girls. He should not be around people where
on the business.
He should not be in the business at all, because let's face it, who goes to shows? Kids do, women do, families do. And having somebody there who's registered should not be allowed. Why there's no intervention? Where the hell is the Florida police? I don't know. Why isn't he allowed? Because I'm sure he's got to check in.
Yeah.
But why are people booking him? Oh, cancel culture. No, it's consequence culture. There's consequence culture.
Yeah. People. Well, I'm not gonna go into that whole rank.
Because there's people that got canceled that there was never even proof of what they even did. That's different. That's a different conversation.
No, this is a guy who needs to face consequences.
Is registered as a sex offender. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, exactly. So don't. Yeah.
Well, guys, I gotta.
That's
head
about
out, so
it
I
for
gotta.
the show. So we can just all go together. And appreciate y'all for
Alright.
tuning in for our
Basically,
first ever
don't be a piece of
Halloween.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
it's not hard not to be a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's not hard.
it's
Just
not hard.
don't do it. Yeah, like
Just
think
don't
of
do it.
yourself. Would a piece of shit do this? And if the answer is yes, then don't do it.
Don't do it.
Exactly.
Boom.
Don't be a strange Strickland. Hey, go
Easy.
Brooklyn Nets.
What?
What the hell?
What
See?
the hell?